Hi everybody, I hope y'all are doing well. I hope y'all are having a great day today. If you're new here, I want to welcome you to School of Scarlett, the School of Unconditional Love. And if you're a returning viewer or returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning back in. I am so happy to have you back here today. So today we're going to be talking about the body again. I kind of talked a little bit about the body in another video. You can go back and watch that if you're interested. And so we're going to be talking about the nervous system and how after an awakening, after a shift, or even after simply just following your heart, a lot of times the body takes some time to catch up to all of this. So as you begin to listen to your heart and begin to align with it and go, whatever direction it's wanting to go, you may feel some discomfort within your body. And, if you've been a person that's been very disconnected from your body, you may still be pretty disconnected from the body. If you're noticing that you're becoming more in tune with the body, feeling the sensations of discomfort, of any changes within your body, then you're a little more sensitive to the body. So what ends up happening is there's going to be an opening of sensitivity when you're working with your heart. If you're following your heart, you're going to be a lot more sensitive. And sometimes that is not very desirable when we're trying to go about life. And that's why a lot of people numb themselves to emotions and things, because they just simply don't have the time to deal with that. They don't have the time to cry or the time to stay home a day or go to a counselor even. So this is going to become a little bit, probably an inconvenience for a little bit, but eventually your body will get used to working with the heart. Your body right now may be only used to working with the brain. And the way the brain works, it kind of tells you what to do. The heart might say something and the brain wants to tell it what to do, or we should do this or that. And it also tells the body what to do. It actually will shut the body down if it needs to. So in very stressful situations like abuse, or somebody has gone through torture or some sort of abuse like that, the brain is actually so powerful in what it does in connection to the body only. Outside of the body, it's nothing. It's illusory. But within the body, the brain has the power to actually shut down everything in your nervous system from your neck down. Just you're only functioning with your brain. So if that has ever happened to you, if you are someone who has gone through trauma, if you have gone through anything like that, trauma, abuse, any of those things, your brain may have already shut different parts of your body down. And you may not even realize this. You may feel like, oh, I feel fine. And then suddenly something begins to bubble up. So when you're working with the heart and you're following your heart, that is the opposite of fear. So love is actually the opposite of fear. Really, fear can be seen as love as well. Everything is love. So in reality, it is love, but it's a very diluted, or it's a different sort of love. There's not that much love there, but there is some love. But anyhow, it's the opposite. So when love starts rising, anything that was fear is also going to start rising, kind of like in a duel, like a fight. And anything like that will start to come up. And what you're going to have to do is stick with love. You're going to have to stick with that. It's going to feel like a battle. It's really going to feel like you have an angel here and a little devil here. And what it is your heart. Your heart is the angel, and the devil is really fear. So you have to continue to choose love, but choosing love is not always easy. Choosing love can mean leaving someone. Choosing love can be setting boundaries somewhere and having this discussion that it could turn into an argument, could turn into something that you didn't intend on happening. So following love is not always going to be the easiest path, but once you follow love and that becomes your path will become very clear, because everything will be aligned with your true desire. So everything that is conflicting and having problems now will fall away, or it will begin to shift more to align with what you are now. So, but that takes some time. And I know there is really no time, but it certainly feels like that to us because we are living a human experience. And in the human experience, time does arise. It does appear that there is time. I'm here at this time and I can look at my watch and whatnot. So time does appear, but in the absolute sense of things, it does not. And in the absolute sense of things, these desires or issues or conflicts that can arise following love, don't even occur either. It's just, it's nothing. But we are living this human experience, and we are most likely wanting to live a full life. This is actually a gift that we get to be in this body and experience these experiences. Because if you look at it as everything or nothing, well, some of us may be so tired of the everything we want nothing. But when you have nothing, then you want everything. So this is the polarity that's always playing out in everything that we see. So nothing is okay for some time, but eventually you want everything. And everything is really your heart. It's your heart's desire. It's what creates, and it's not really creating, but it's what leads you to the different paths and things that are going to open up and unfold for you. And generally, that's something that is authentic to you, to this human, because we're all born with individual and unique characteristics, ways of being. And so the heart is very aligned to whatever expression you are, whereas my expression may be very different than my brother's expression. So it's very specific, and you got to follow your heart to really get on that path that's clear. But along that route, like I say, when we get back to talking about the body, it can become uncomfortable. And you'll begin to sense things within your body, whether that's tightness in your chest, whether that's, shallow breathing, or maybe you're starting to feel pain. Some people will start having pain. Some people will begin to have headaches. All of these things are really just signals and warnings about fear, that you're probably giving into fear somewhere in your life. So it's just a warning signal to pay attention to, and then really look at what's happening or what's been happening. And does any of that fit into possibly giving into fear rather than love? And if so, it's really just a thing that you got to stay really strong in this time. It's almost like a fight, like I say. We're fighting for the heart, we're fighting for love, we're fighting for ourselves, we're fighting to be free. And to do that, we have to follow love. And in following love, a lot of those fear-based things are still hanging around. But once you get past this and you get into love, you can turn back and see that all these fear-based things, they were actually illusions. They weren't even real. They were fake. So it's a process. You may be on this side of fear of or just regular life in the way that most people live life, and we're moving more towards love. And as you do so, you're going to come into all of this chaos, all of this fear things, all of these things that have been holding you back, whether they're beliefs, whether they're people, whether they're situations. You're going to have to come through that. And as you come through that, you go into love. And when you make it to love, then your path will be clear. And that's when you will see that this was an illusion. And then now your path will be clear, and there's no going back after that. But things still arise within the body. And there's so many things that can happen because, my background's more in psychology. And in psychology, you can actually have stored traumas. And so I'm bringing this video to y'all because even though I had this shift, even though I've done even inner work before and after the shift, things can still arise. And when we think that all our trauma is gone, it's been burned through, you can still be surprised. So I had to go to the doctor. I thought maybe it was like, a hormonal, it was women's things and stuff like that. So I went into the doctor for this, and I began to have like my heart beating quickly and things like that. And it kind of threw me back into the spiral of when I had a real bad health issue. And if you've watched my older videos, I had really high blood pressure that was really uncontrollable. So I was in and out of the hospital, lots of tests, lots of things, and nobody could figure it out. So it kind of threw me back into this loop of that. And the same kind of anxiety and fear of death, even though I don't see death that way anymore, still came up. And it came up pretty strongly because usually when I have a thought come up, it's really back here and I can just say, oh, that's silly, that's not true. But this fear came up and it was up here. It was, where up front and center. And it really became very real to me. And I really thought I could die. Maybe there was something else going on with me. And of course I went to the doctor. I had all the tests done. I'm fine. But in that time, it became very real to me. And I really began to believe that I was sick or dying. And then even further than that, having the fear that I would die. So all of that came back. And what that was happening, it was a stored trauma from a time that was very bad for me, because in that time, not only was I sick, but I didn't have family support because I was in a whole nother state. And also, at that same time, my marriage fell apart just completely spontaneous. Like, I wasn't expecting it at all. I was dealing with my health, and then that happened all within, I would say, a month. So it was a lot on my nervous system, on everything. And what happened then, I can look back now and see what happened. I kind of shut that off. I said, you know what? I'm going to start a new life. So, I had different experiences, and you can go back to my videos to watch those. And so I just moved on from that. And looking at it now, when this trauma has just reoccurred, when I went to the doctor the other day, I can see how I kind of numbed myself at that time. And that became a stored trauma. And that stored trauma didn't clear up with the awakening. That stored trauma didn't clear up with inner work or, or journaling or doing anything that I do. So these things can pop up and bubble up, and they're just fear bubbles. They're not real, but they sure feel real, and they can take a toll on you. I can tell you for about 2 days, I was feeling a lot within my body, physically, thinking, oh, I'm sick and this and that, and went to the doctor and it was fine. But these things can really become very real for you. And so it's this kind of window or partition that we have to go through with all the yuck. And even when we go through it, it's possible some of that yuck may be still sticking to us. And that's okay. When you feel it bubble up, it's important to kind of let it be. If you want to cry, cry. If you need to walk, walk. Whatever your body is intuitively telling you to do it. And take very good care of yourself. Love yourself. Give yourself grace. Don't judge yourself over these things. These things just happen. They have nothing to do with you. They're just things that happen, and we have to allow them to happen through us. And as they do, they disappear. So I hope this video has helped a little bit if you are going through anything as far as the body or the nervous system. The most important thing is to follow your intuition and start to begin to do the things that feel right for you. Sometimes people want to prescribe very difficult things like, learn this whole technique and then you'll get rid of this nervous system problem, or, try this and that technique. All you really need to do is, again, listen to your heart. If your heart's telling you to go walk barefoot outside, go do that. If your heart's telling you to go hug your dog, go do that. Sometimes the answers are very simple. So I hope that this video finds you well. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you are new here and you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, share this video, get this video out there. And if you haven't checked my Unconditional course, I will link some information down below. I would love to have as many people as I can in that course. Thank you so much.